Hi everyone, I'm Ms. Bazone, and today we're going to be solving linear equations where when we're using the distributive property. I found this picture. I have no idea why there's a man cutting up sushi on it. Who knows? Alright, so let's get started. So let's do a review of the last lesson. The last lesson was solving when there's x's on both sides of the equations. So here's a basic one, and here's a little harder one where you have to combine like terms. Pause the video and try these two problems. So remember, the first thing we have to do when we solve is we have to get the x's on the same side of the equal sign. Okay? So I'm going to draw my line between them. My general rule is to move the one that has a smaller coefficient. So what's smaller, 3 or my invisible 1? 1. So now, is that x positive or negative? That's a positive x, so we're going to subtract. Minus x and minus x. X minus x is 0, it cancels out. I'm going to bring down my 19 equals 3x minus x is 2x minus 5. Again, we subtract our coefficients. Remember, there's a 1 here. Now, to get x by itself, we move whatever's being added and subtracted. This is one term, so we're going to get rid of that term first. That's a minus 5. Opposite of minus is plus. 5 minus 5 is 0. That cancels out. 2x equals 24. Now that we have to break up this term, so x is by itself. 2x means 2 times x. The opposite of multiplication is division. Divide both sides by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so we have that 1x, or x. 24 divided by 2 is 12. Number 2 is a little more complicated because we actually have to combine like terms. So I'm going to draw my line. So we have 3 terms over here. Some of them can go together. My x can combine with my other x. Notice I circled the negative 7. It's not just 7, it's negative 7. Now, also, those cannot combine with 9. You can't combine across the equal sign. They're 2 separate pieces. So x minus 7x, get the top out, is negative 6x. Make sure if you're not sure, you need to work on your sign numbers, your integer rules. Those are important. And on this side, we only have one x, but we have that positive 1 and positive 11, which gives me a 12. 12 minus 9x equals, so now I have to decide which x to move. Look at my numbers. I have negative 6 and negative 9. I always move the smaller one just to avoid negatives. Negative 9 is smaller. Opposite minus is plus. Plus 9x. Plus 9x. 12 equals, put those together, we get 3x plus 4. Move get rid of the 4. 3x is connected. Minus 4 minus 4. 3x equals 8. Divide by your coefficient. X is 8/3. And like I said in the last video, I am perfectly happy with an improper fraction. Alright. So now we're going to involve the distributive property. So distributive property, I hope you've learned. Think about what distribute means. If your teacher is in class and decides to distribute papers, who is she giving papers to? Everyone in the class. Everybody in the class. Is she going in the hall and giving her random students in the hall papers? No, that would be awkward. Hey, random student I don't have, do this homework assignment. That's weird, right? So when we distribute, everybody on the inside of the parentheses gets it. So we're going to distribute the 5 to everything in the parentheses. When we distribute, we multiply. So 5 times x is 5x. 5 times 3 is 15. That 35 was not inside, so it does not get that 5. Plus, they're on opposite sides of the equal sign. Now it's just a two-step problem. Opposite to get rid of that 15. 5x equals negative 20, and divide by your coefficient. X is negative 4. All right, now, number 4. This one is really common for students to get wrong. A lot of kids try to do 8 plus 2 is 10. No, you cannot put these together. There's really a multiplication here. You cannot add those. Think about just regular order of operations. You have to multiply before you add, so that doesn't work. So what we're going to do is distribute the 2 to everything on the inside. That 8 is outside. That 8's in the hall, wandering. So distribute, we've got 12 minus 2x, and then bring down that 8. Now here, we're going to combine like terms. We have 2 plain numbers, add them together. 20 minus 2x equals 42. To get the x by itself, add and subtract first. We're going to move that 20. Minus 20, minus 20. That negative is in front of the 2, it doesn't go anywhere. And then finally divide by the coefficient. So here's one that's slightly harder. And this is an important one. I use these a lot. Those really mess up my students, so I go over those a lot. All right, pause the video. Try this one on your own. At least try the distributing and combining like terms. Oh, there's 2. Just kidding. So try number 5, just the distributing part. Just like before, we cannot put those together. That 9 is just chilling in front. Distribute the 7. Now, when we distribute that 7, notice it's got a minus. Think of this as plus negative 7. Think of it as a negative 7 that you're multiplying. So negative 7 times 11 is negative 77. Negative 7 times minus 5 is plus 35x. A negative times a negative is a positive. That's super important. Equals negative 33. Combine like terms. We have our 9 minus 77. Those are both constants. Put those together. Negative 68 plus 35x equals negative 33. Move your constant term. What's being added and subtracted? That 35 and x are stuck together, so we got to move here. Cancels to 0. Bring down my 35x equals 35. I'm so smart when I wrote this problem. Divide by your coefficient. X equals, and we're done. All right, pause the video and try number 6 on your own. I wish this was a smart board so I can move it up. All right, so let's distribute. That negative 10 is just chilling up front. Distribute that negative 8. That's a negative 8. So negative 16x plus 40. -8 times a -5 is a positive. And then we are not distributing to that x. X is not in the classroom, not in the parentheses. So that's just a plus x. Now we're going to combine like terms. What can go together? We have -10 and +40. That gives you a 30. -16 plus x. Again, if you need to write that one, go for it. -15x equals 2x. Alright, I'm going to jump up here because I ran out of space. So we have 30 minus 15x equals 2x. Now, this x is by itself, right? So this 15 needs to join him. How do you move that 15? Opposite of minus is plus. Cancels to 0. 30 equals 17x. And finally divide by your coefficient. Is it a weird answer? Yes. That's okay though. We're good. Alright. Let's try these two now. Now we're getting a little harder and we have parentheses on both sides of the equal sign. Pause the video and start by distributing. So, I'm going to start with 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times minus x is minus 6x equals 5 times x is 5x. 5 times 9 is 45. Get your x's on the same side, move the smaller one. 6x is small, the 6x is smaller because it's negative. Opposite of minus is plus. Plus 6x. 24 equals 11x plus 45. To get x by itself, move this term that stays for a bit, and we gotta move that term. Minus 45. $11x equals negative 21. Divide by your coefficient. X equals negative 21 over 11. No. Yeah, we didn't make a mistake, right? No, it worked out weird. Alright, pause the video again. Try number 8. Negative 6x. Negative 12. Watch those signs. Negative 35 plus 5x. I got 6 and 5 again. Alright, who's gonna move? Again, that's a negative, so we move our negative. Plus 6x plus 6x. Negative 12 equals negative 35 plus 11x. Let's rewrite it up here. Negative 12 equals negative 35 plus 11x. That 11 is staying with the other term. Plus 35 plus 35. 11x equals 23. I did a really terrible job making these. I think that I was probably going for 22 over here. Divide by your coefficient. X equals 23/11. Okay. I'm going to give you one more to do and we are all set for this lesson. Oh no. Shoot. 1 second. Alright, here's the last problem. If you can do this, you are pretty awesome at solving. You can do anything that's integer based. Alright, let's start by distributing. Remember that 5 is chilling in the front. Distribute, negative times a negative is a positive. That 8x is just chilling in front. Distribute the 6. 6x plus 54 minus 14 is not inside the parentheses, so it's chilling. Let's combine our like terms. On the left side, we have our negative 9. On the right side, I've got my x's go together and my 54 and 14 go together. Let's see, you got 14x plus 40. Move the smaller x, minus 2x, minus 2x, 2's cancel. Negative 9 equals 12x plus 40. Minus that 40 on both sides. 12x equals negative 49. 0. Divide by your coefficient. So x equals negative 49 points. And we are done. So again, if you were able to do this without any help, you are on the ball and you got this. If not, just gotta get some more practice. All right, have a great day.